Cool. Hi, everybody, and welcome. This webinar is hosted by Houzz and will be for the Architeam members. This workshop is going to go over what it is that you guys need to be successful and how we can help you with that. So today, who we have myself. My name's Alexa. I manage the account managers at Houzz. And in terms of who will be hosting the workshop, we have Emily, who is one of our top account managers on the team. So she'll be taking you through all of the content today. What we'll do is this webinar will be recorded. Emily will go through the content and then we'll open it up for questions at the very end. So Emily, take it away.
Alrighty. Hi, everybody. I'm very excited to be here, but just so you guys know me a little bit better, my name is Emily. I am a client success manager working at Houzz, and I've worked with a range of professionals. So one of the biggest things that you can be comforted by is knowing that I've basically seen it all. So don't worry. But firstly, I do actually want to go ahead and say thank you so much to Architeam, Rebecca, Regina. Thank you so much for being here, and also for giving me the opportunity to speak to you guys. Obviously, it's a crazy time to be working in. A lot of the world is basically turned upside down. So I am excited to share with you some really interesting changes to what we're doing at Houzz, all centered around helping our professional community stay relevant, stay present, and I'm confident that you'll all learn something new today, so that's always fun too. The only thing that I would ask is if you've got any questions, just pop them on hold till the end. I'll open it up later, and myself, Olivia, and Alexa will be able to answer all of them. So let's get started. It's going to be pretty easy today. I'll set the tone for you. We'll cover a lot of ground. And the first thing we will look at is a little bit about the evolution of Houzz and the journey that we've been on. Again, I think we can all agree that the industry has changed in the last year alone. So from there, we're going to look a little bit deeper into the data, into some feedback and some surveys about the current state of the industry and things like what do your clients want and expect, and where is the bar for you as a professional? Where do you need to be and what do you need to be doing to stay on top and stay relevant? I'll talk about this in two ways. The first is how you present yourself online, and the second will be with the tools you use to connect with your clients. Ultimately, it's all about setting yourself up for success. So some questions that I want you to be asking yourself at the moment is, how do you create an online presence because online presence matters? And how do you communicate with leads more effectively because closing jobs matters? And we all know that right now. And then the last is, how do you communicate with clients in 2020 in the way that they demand? You'll see some demos of some great Houzz tools all mixed in between with all of these focus points. So if you like something that you're seeing, you want to get started, I've got you covered. But for now, I would love to jump into it. So let's get started. So I'm sure some of you have heard of Houzz before, but for those that haven't, I'll take you on a bit of a journey. And to give you a bit of an idea about us, our founders are great. They went through a nightmare renovation and basically they wanted to save people the trouble of making the same mistakes that they did. So Houzz essentially started with the purpose of connecting homeowners to professionals. What we did for a very long time was provide targeted marketing solutions, and that married a homeowner with a qualified professional that could make their design or renovation dreams come true. We still do that. Some of my clients still call me Cupid, but the biggest shift we have is actually to cater much more towards what homeowners need and what professionals want. So now we actually offer an end-to-end business solution to provide more exposure for you, help you get more leads, manage your business more effectively, and ultimately provide that premium client experience that's on par with people's expectations in 2020. One thing that we've always done really well at Houzz is making sure that we know our homeowners. So that means we want to know who they are and we want to know what they want. We know that the residential market is dynamic and so are the demands of homeowners. So it's important that we qualify your future clients. The type of client we have are people that already own their own homes. They've got the budgets to undertake higher end projects, and more importantly, they're actively researching. Sometimes that actually means they're taking their sweet time to research that project as well. Anywhere on average between 6 to 12 months relative to their budget is how long they're going to spend planning. And if they've got more to spend, obviously they're going to take more time. What's important to consider is also that person's expectations. In 2020, so much of what they tell us is that an exceptional quality of work, it's to be expected. That's your baseline. It's not enough to win jobs anymore, because more than anything, it's actually about the quality of the service that's provided holistically. The expectation there is for transparent, open communication and engagement above anything else. And they want this to happen in a mixture of ways, some of it online, some of it offline. And one of the more important things is that I know, you know, that first budget conversation, you may as well throw it out the window, because you've got to keep an open mind in these conversations as well. Some people don't even know what they want to spend. But basically, what they want is a fantastic experience. So what we do is show them why you're fantastic. Now, this year we did something a bit different. We decided to conduct a survey around COVID-19 with most of the world transforming to working from home. It just made sense. And I'll show you how that affected some businesses. But let me tell you right now, the key takeaway is that it's not time to pull back. The bus is moving and you've got to jump on. We've seen more queries and more traffic than we've ever seen. And what's really interesting is that 4 in 5 homeowners who were in the middle of a project were actually able to continue. Not only this, but more people felt inspired to plan for future projects. These are often the hotspots of the home that spark bigger projects as well, like your kitchens, your bathrooms. And I've been hearing more now than ever, your clients are actually holding their budgets pretty close to their chest. So it might be a longer close cycle for you, but what better time to get your business processes under wraps? So we also found that many homeowners actually used online tools for their day-to-day. So it makes sense that we use it for proposals, approvals, payment schedules, remote communication, collaboration, all these tools that might have actually changed the way that you have to work as well. What they're looking for is more engagement, more interaction with their processes online. And the bottom line here is that if you're not incorporating digital tools into the way that you work and communicate with clients, then you're doing your business a disservice and you're actually running the risk of having to catch up with the wave instead of cruising through it. So, setting yourself up for success. How are you meant to do this? Let me tell you, if I had $1 every time somebody asked me this question, I could probably save the economy by now. But for you guys, we've broken it down into 3 key components. The first is having a strong online presence so homeowners know who you are and what you do. Now, the second is converting your leads through active engagement, and that's tight follow-up processes, just showing genuine care for the client, which I know you guys are really good at. And the third thing is having clear and proactive collaboration and communication that actually exceeds that client's expectations. So let's start with your online presence. How are you going to make your business look fantastic when people search, when people discover, and when people engage with you for the first time? Again, if I had $1, but we live in an online world, so as much as technology can bug us sometimes, we owe a lot to it. More than anything, it's about that first point of contact and validating that word of mouth. So, essentially, your online brand or your online presence is about establishing a strong brand. What you want people to understand is who you are, what you do, and why you're special right from the get-go. I know you all have different strengths. I hear a lot of sustainability-driven architecture these days. Sometimes it's high-end work, custom homes. Sometimes it's accessible projects. Whatever the style or whatever the specialty is, the important thing is that this messaging has to be consistent across every platform. So when you're deciding where to invest your time into building out your presence, remember to pick platforms that are right for you. This means engaging with the platforms that your demographic uses. We'll take Houzz as an example. We're an industry-specific platform, so we have a robust community of professionals with profiles who attract different types of clients. You should have a presence on Houzz because we're an industry leader, but you should also have a website because having a website in 2020, again, it's a baseline expectation. Now, I'm sure a lot of you already have a website. Some of you might not just yet. Know that 38% of people will stop engaging with a website if it's clunky, if it's too busy, if it's hard to use. So keep it simple, keep it user-friendly, and keep it updated. This also means you've got to consider mobile and tablet optimization for people looking on different devices, and keep in mind that some hosts, they will charge for updates. What I'm going to do now actually is show you some Houzz templates. So I'm going to hop over to a different screen. There we go. Perfect. So basically what Houzz has come out with is to satisfy this need that we saw in the professional community. All of our websites, they're professional, they're customizable, they're SEO friendly. I actually want to show you my favorite. Let me scroll down. Perfect. And one of the best things actually about these websites is that they automatically update with your Houzz profile. If you don't have one, you haven't updated yours in a while, or you just want something you don't have to manage, let me know. I can help you out. Just remember that your platforms, they will communicate with each other and they will form a great bridge for people to cross to get a better understanding of you, of your team, of the work that you create. So it's important that you invest in yourself and just have a great website. Moving on, once you've got the fundamentals down, we've got the website, it becomes about reputation management. And here is how we make you stand out on Houzz with a premium profile. With a premium profile, it's about maximizing that engagement with your online brand. So you have tools to make sure you wow them. It's all about who you are, what you do. So we've got these standouts that call out to what you do. And I actually want to show you again. So we've got Zoo Guy Strudwick as an example. I want to show you their profile. So the standouts over here on the left-hand side, really quick glimpse, they've set these themselves. It tells us who they are and what makes them special. They've also got all of their credibility. They work really hard to win Houzz Awards every year. They're affiliated with the AIA and they've got a bunch of Houzz badges. So the point of all of this is to give your client or your future client that opportunity to build an interest and trust in your business, even if they've only got 2 minutes. There are a heap of tags to choose from over here as well in these standouts. But if they're not a reader, cool, no worries. Let's check out the highlight video. I'm going to turn this down because it's blaring in my ears. I'm not sure if you can hear the music, but basically what this does, I'll play a couple of seconds, is really quickly you're going to see a handful of diverse, professionally photographed images. Some recent reviews if we get that far, but it's all put to some boppy tunes to make you feel good. And there's so many tunes that you can choose from. I'm going to close this now. So feel free, hop onto their profile and have a look a little bit later. Let me hop back. Perfect. And the reality is now that one of the most effective ways to win jobs is through referrals. They're a solid network. Know that they're also a limited network. And the way a referral has actually been validated has changed. So basically, if somebody wants to hire you, they're going to go and read reviews. Year on year, actually, homeowners, your future clients or your past clients actually tell us that their #1 hiring criteria is reviews. So don't be afraid to ask, and don't be afraid to ask more than once. People are busy. Stuff hits the fan. Look at this year. But from my experience managing professionals for the last couple of years, I can tell you that there is a direct correlation between the amount of reviews you have and the amount of qualified contacts you receive. Once you've done that, you've also got to respond. Don't leave them hanging. A quick thank you does wonders for your reputation, the client's final experience with you, and the experience future clients may have. And if you get a bad one, it doesn't happen a lot. It can still happen. Don't sweat it and don't lose sleep over it. A professional, timely response says more about you than the actual review does. It's a great opportunity for you to show the type of customer service and professionalism you have in this situation. And that's ultimately what homeowners are looking for. On Houzz, you can actually set which review you want a client to read, just like the example we've got down here, Kuvaris. But ultimately, if someone has to look harder than a couple of recent reviews to find a reason to trust you, you're not going to win that job. So let's move on to lead management, because a lot of time we ask people, why do you get hired? Why do your clients come to you? The answer I usually hear is, oh, my work's great, my projects are innovative, people love my work, which is very true. But what you're not realizing is that there is an X factor that gets you hired, and that is actually the level of service that you provide with it. So much of this actually starts from when a lead comes in, because they need to be nurtured effectively. Majority of businesses will use a strategy to stay on top of their active opportunities, because not only do you need to touch those leads to make sure that they're active, but you need to make sure you're qualifying those leads so that you are as much of a fit for them as they are for you. And don't be afraid to point them in the right direction and ask, what projects have you seen? What reviews have you read? Qualify them, whether it's a form, whether it's a call, whatever it may be. Make sure that fits mutual. Then you need a system, and this is to track your inbound inquiries. And you need to ask them how they heard about your business. Now, the way you do this is up to you. You can keep track of it on a whiteboard. You can use a napkin. Don't use a napkin. But our suggestion is actually to use something specifically built to manage relationships with your clients. There are tools, some of them are really intense. You've got Salesforce, Microdynamics, you've got Zoho, but it's not always something that you might need. If you want something simple and easy, you can use Houzz. You can move that collaboration process online. You can add leads, keep track of where they come from, but more importantly, it's about effective time management. You can move your prospects really easily and quickly into appropriate stages and effectively track or keep track of your meetings essentially by linking your calendar to the software. Some things, look, they'll inevitably drop off. It's a circle of life. So snooze the lead if you need to for as long as you need. And just make sure that the opportunities you're keeping in your main window are actually active. That's the most important part. One of my favorite features is actually a quick response template. And you can send off an initial message on the go because timeliness matters, especially from the initial point of contact. That initial point, the way that you respond, that creates the perception of service that they're going to receive throughout. So these clients, they invest so much of themselves in you. So it's important to show them that you care and that you know all the little things that matter most to them. You can add notes, you can add files, you can keep track of their favorite things, but more importantly, by keeping track of this, you're showing them that you care. Now, when it's time to close the deal, you can actually upload and share fee proposals with your clients at the click of a button. They're slick, they're professionally branded, and I actually want to show you an example. So for our builders, we have a more robust solution, but it lets them create estimates from scratch. And honestly, I don't think that that's something that you guys need. So I'm not going to pretend like it is. What I actually want to show you is something easier and it's more effective. And it's right here. This is a lead I've actually already created with my fee proposal ready to go. I've already populated my count settings to include all of my professional information and my logo, so this will be branded in 1 second. But what I want to show you is that at the bottom here, you can either copy and paste your terms and conditions. I've chosen to upload them and just include a little memo so that the client knows, because they're standardized for me and they're quite extensive, but you can also copy and paste your memos into the text box. I've also uploaded the floor plan and the mood board that we put together because I do want to show the client that I care and that I pay attention to every little detail by including every document that's relative to their dream home. And now I'm ready to send. The only thing I have to do before I send is enter the total. Otherwise, you're going to give them a renovation for free. When it does send, you can actually choose to send a copy to yourself, keep a paper trail, and you can view what the client's going to see. You can see right up the top here, it's all professionally branded. So now what I want to do is show you what the client sees, which should be this one right here. Perfect. So this is what the client sees. Again, a professionally branded document. It's super slick. They can click it, they can open, they can view it. And all they really need to do, if they're happy with what they're seeing, is sign on the dotted line. So I'm going to approve this. And I'm going to congratulate myself because I just won my own business and I'm the easiest client in the world because I didn't have any questions. Now, once that's been approved, if I go back to my document on the professional side, one of the most valuable tools for you is actually going to be your activity history. And you can see when it's been tracked, when it's been sent, when it's been received, when it's been approved, which is huge, and then if it's been viewed as well. This transparency is something that homeowners love because they'll see a record of this as well. Now, this isn't an experience that replaces what you do. Our intention is to build on that and to help you just do the next right thing so your business meets the expectations of homeowners in 2020 and beyond. Just send branded documents, look great while doing it, and perfect that follow-up process, because if you see this document has been opened 15 times in the last 6 days, you might want to give the client a call. But the takeaway here is that your processes need to look and feel as professional as you are. It's about saving you time, fostering an easy experience, and maintaining brand consistency. That's what Houzz enables you to do. So now we've perfected your lead management, let's perfect your collaboration tools. The work you do matters just as much as your communication does. And again, remember, one of the top values of any future client in 2020 is transparency and the ability to have that online engagement. So I want to show you one more feature. So right now I'm in my project, but what you actually have the ability to do is share a client dashboard with your client. Here, all of your two-way communication, it's focused in one area. I know you guys get a lot of calls. I'm not saying don't take your calls. All I'm saying is enable your client to be proactive and share with them a timeline. You can actually set up a timeline so that they know who's going to be where and when, and who they should even call that day. And what's great as well is that you can set your payment schedules, you can show them what's owing, they are in the loop 100%. And again, the intent isn't to replace what you're doing, it's to make that process easier for you, make it a little bit slicker, and just make sure your business is as professional as you look in all aspects. So, everything that I actually just went through today as well, it's all available on the app. And what's great with the app is that you can obviously grab client information on the go, you can contact numbers, you can send emails on the go. You can also take that signed proposal to your meeting and show them if they ask for whatever reason. And I actually would encourage you to enable your video calls so that you can encourage proactivity and, more than anything, to get around the restrictions you might be facing right now. If you're in Melbourne, you're banned from having a social week for the next couple of weeks, or a social life, I should say, for the next couple of weeks. But it also means you can't see clients face to face. Engage with them the way that they demand, in a way that's easy, and just look good while doing it. So let's sum it up. The world's different. It's a little bit crazy. 2020 has been really weird, but the silver lining is that clients know what they want now more than ever, and we can help you meet their criteria. It's crucial to have an online presence that helps you talk the talk, build trust from the first touch point that is sharp and consistent, and then you need to back it up. Provide a great experience from the pre-sales workflow all the way down to project completion. Have an experience that builds on what you're already doing. This one will save you time, definitely money, and force higher efficiency whether you're looking for it or not. So whatever you're looking for, we can help. So many clients actually love Houzz because everything they need is at the tip of their fingers. So it really is an end-to-end experience to help you manage your business. And obviously, we're really excited about our relationship with Architeam, and we want to make sure that you're focused on running your business instead of doing 50 emails one day or XYZ, whatever you've got on that isn't related. So that's what we're set up to help you with. And we're actually offering a sweet 25% discount on any premium packages. So that was me, hoping you learned something new. But now let's actually hear from you guys. I might actually throw it over to Rebecca really quickly if you wanted to say a couple words.
Let's see if I have the technology to do this. Thanks lots for that, Emily. It's been, it's always eye-opening speaking with everyone from Houzz, because I've been a member since 2012, and when it launched in Australia, I became a Pro Plus member then, and I know that the whole suite has developed and been incredibly innovative in that whole time. My motto these days is work smart, work less, and I think that Houzz has enabled me to do that. Every time I open up my dashboard, I see that there's a new tool that makes my life easier. I now can upload all of my leads, so they're all in the same place. Even if they're not a Houzz lead, I'm uploading my leads from just emails or, you know, referrals from friends and things like that. So I can just keep a track of it. But yesterday I learnt the team sharing tool. So
Change your
now
life.
I know. So my staff now can, they can do all the responding and improve that aspect, which I've been a little bit slow in doing, because there is a lot of contact made through Houzz. So I hope other people can, and our members at Architeam can reap some rewards as well. But I look forward to seeing Houzz advance, as well as we start seeing the shift into how architects work in this country, and building on that info. So thank you very much for this opportunity to work with you, and thanks for everyone who's making it happen, and I hope it works for our members.
So welcome. Thank you for the opportunity. Did anybody have any questions as well? Anybody who's here? No? Alrighty then. That makes my life easier. If you do have any questions, feel free, you can reach out to me, you can contact me, or anybody on the Houzz team. I'm more than happy to help. But otherwise, this has been amazing. Thank you so much again for the opportunity, and I hope that everybody learned something new. Alrighty.